Okay, so here, the third way that is t is equal to 2, r is equal to 5, p is equal to 5000. So you can see here, that means I am passing the arguments by using the name of the parameter. That is a keyword argument, or you can say that is the named argument. So whatever name I have provided to the parameter, to that, using that name I am passing the arguments. So in this way, the benefit of this way, that means you can pass the arguments to the parameter in any order. Okay, here you are passing the argument to the parameter by using the name of the parameter, that is p is equal to 5000. The 5000 will go to this particular parameter, r is equal to 5, the 5 will go to this particular parameter, t is equal to 2, that will go to this particular parameter. And if you will change the order of the argument, that r is equal to 5, so the r is equal to 5 means r will go to this r will not go to p, because here you have specified the name, you specified the keyword. Okay, so this is the way, keyword or name argument. So r, you have provided the value argument 5 to r, so this particular argument will go to this parameter, t is equal to 2, t is equal to 2 will go to this particular parameter t, and p is equal to 5000 will go to this particular parameter p. Okay, this is the, so here you have changed the order. In the same way, here I have changed the order. So after changing the order of the arguments, you can pass the argument in any order as per your need, as per requirement, but whatever argument you are passing, that will go to its parameter of which name you have specified at the time of call, at the time of function call. Okay, understood? So so there were three different ways of parameter passing: the positional required argument passing way, the default argument passing way, and keyword or named argument passing way. So you must have understood in a proper manner. Another way, that is multiple, that is using multiple argument types together. That means you can whatever argument passing way you have read, okay, you can pass the argument with the combination of all these three also. Okay, so for example, suppose using multiple argument types together. So suppose I am writing this program, and at the time of function calling, I am calling the function by using this statement, and I can pass the value just like this 5000, and you can say t is equal to r is equal to t is equal to 2. So when I will call this particular function with these three arguments, you can see here, this is the in this function calling, this is the combination of positional argument passing way and keyword argument passing way. Okay, this is the that is why it is known as multiple argument types together. Multiple argument type together I am passing, okay, to this particular function. So whatever value you have passed, that is passed that the positional argument, so that will go to the first position argument. The second also has been passed to the position argument way, so that will pass to the second parameter, and third I have passed the argument with the method named argument or keyword also, that argument will pass to the third parameter of which name is t. Are you getting my point? Okay, understood. Suppose here you have used a particular default value, that is 3. Okay, here you have used particular default value of r, sorry, but t, that is 2. Then you can call the function, that is 5000 r is equal to 5. So here you can see, here in this function definition I have used one default argument also, t is equal to 2. So at the time of function calling statement, I have passed only two argument, one according to positional argument way and another according to the named argument way. That the first value will go to the first position argument and second value will go to the named argument r. So r is equal to 5, so this value will go to the r parameter, and that value of t already I have given that if I pass a default argument. So in this way, so the way in which you are passing the arguments to the function by using the combination of all the three, with the combination of two argument passing way, with the combination of the three argument passing way, this type of passing way is known as multiple argument types passing way. Okay, so you need to understand about that, and always remember all those rules which I have told earlier, that in the default argument passing way, which rule you need to follow, which rule you keep to which rule you need to keep in your mind, and in the function calling way, which rule you need to keep in your mind. Okay, named argument. Okay, so I'm going to write a program in which I will use this method, multiple argument types passing way. Okay, so see the program properly. A program to show the method of multiple argument types. Okay, so here I am taking the same function p, r is equal to 5, t is equal to, I am taking 2. Simple interest using default values of r and t. So here you can see that I am calculating the simple interest, and here I have got the function by passing only one value according to the positional argument passing way. So this value will go to the P, and rest value I provided the default value. For the rest parameter I provided the default value. So these two values will be taken from here, and a value of P will be taken from here, and then calculation will be taken. But another way that I'm passing the rate of interest. So here you can see in this statement I am taken one variable with the name RT, and in this variable I will enter one value from the keyboard, and enter the value of R that will, whatever value I will provided, that will be stored in RT, and from this this argument I have passed here at the time of function calling. So this is the way. Another way, this argument I have passed to the positional way. This argument I have passed with the by entering the value by the user, and this argument passed to the with the named. Okay, so when the calculation will perform, the value of P will be 5000, the value of R will be ignored here. Okay, this value will be ignored, and that value will be R will be the value of RT. Whatever value we provide of RT, suppose you have provided 6, the value of R here will be 6, and value of T you have provided 5, this value will be changed, the value of T will be 5, and then according to that calculation will be performed, and after that, according to that, simple interest will be calculated. Have you understood the concept properly? Okay. The next topic which you need to understand, that function types of functions. On the basis of return statements. Okay, I have told to all of you earlier that in a function, using the return statement in the function, that is completely optional, that is completely depends upon the requirement, that is completely depends upon the user. Okay, that you are writing the return statement in the function or not. Okay, so if you are using the return statement in the function, or if you are not using the return statement in the function, on the basis of this concept, or the user defined function can be categorized into two categories. The first one is known as the non-void functions, which are also known as fruitful functions. And the second category is the void functions. That are unfruitful. So on the basis of the passing the return statement or the user-defined function can be categorized into two categories: non-void functions or fruitful function. That means that type of user-defined function in which return statements you are using. That means that type of function which are returning the calculated values. Okay, so that type of functions, first of all we will discuss about non-void functions that are also known as fruitful. So all those user-defined function in which you have used any type of return statement, okay, and that means those type of user-defined function that are returning that calculated value which has been calculated from that user-defined function. Okay, so that are basically known as non-void function or fruitful functions. That means these are those type of user-defined function in which you are using return statement. That means this type of function are returning some values after the calculation. For example, suppose you are writing a program of sum. Okay, and that means this program you are trying to find the sum of two values, that is num1 comma num2, and after that num1 plus num2 return sm. Print the sum is as follows. So here you can see I have used a user-defined function with the name sum, and I am passing in this two parameter I have passed in this particular user-defined function, and after that this is the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and whatever values I will be provided to these two parameters, that the sum of those values will be calculated, and that sum will be stored in this particular variable sm, and that calculated value will be returned. Okay, so where this particular value will be returned, this particular value will be returned into that variable through which that particular function will be called. So here you can see this statement. Here you are calling a function sum by passing two arguments 7 and 5 with a variable s. So this particular argument 7 will pass to this particular parameter num1. This particular second argument for part of the second parameter, and then 7 plus 5 term will be calculated, and this term will be returned to this particular in this particular return statement will be encountered, and this return statement, that means this whatever value has been stored in this particular variable after calculation, that will be returned to the to that statement where function call has been encountered, and whatever value has been calculated, that will be written here, and that will be stored in this particular variable, and after that this particular variable value of this variable has been printed. Okay, so this way this particular function will be known as non-void function, a fruitful function. The non-void function means that particular function which is returning some values which has been calculated by that particular function, or a fruitful function means that particular user-defined function which is generating some calculated value, and that calculated value has been sending to the other statement of that particular program. Okay, so on the basis of the return statements, two all types of user-defined function can be, types of user-defined function can be divided into two categories. The non-void function, that means fruitful function, through which some calculated value is going to be returned, and that returning value has been using by some other variables, or you can say some other statements in that particular program. Okay, one more thing, the value which has been returned, which can be returned by a user-defined function, that can be a literal, or that can be a variable, or that can be an expression also. For example, suppose here in this program, the whatever value is returning from this particular user-defined function, that will basically come under the category of variable. Okay, sorry, that is basically known as literals. Okay, in the same way, suppose a particular in this way, or you can say return statement, you can combine these two statements. So in place of these two statements, you can write here directly return num1 plus num2. Okay, so here you can see this particular statement is ending some value. That value is basically an expression, then num1 plus 2. Okay, so num1 plus 2 value will be added, and that will be returned to this statement, and from this statement it will be stored in this variable. Okay, are you getting my point? Okay, so in this way you can see that whatever value are returning from that particular function, user-defined function, that can be a literal, that can be a variable, that can be expression also, as per your need, as per your choice. Okay, another type of user-defined function, that is known as void functions. That is unfruitful. What is the meaning of that? That means these are those type of user-defined functions which are not returning any type of value. Okay, for example, suppose I am writing the same program. So here you can see 1 2 3 4. And here I've used a user defined function, and in this function user defined I didn't use any type of return statement. So this function is not return any type of value. So in this function I have passed two parameters, and at the time of function calling I am simple way I am calling this particular function in a simple way by passing two arguments 8 and 9. The first argument will pass to the first parameter, second argument will pass to the second parameter, and after that, sorry, num1 plus num2, sorry. So num1 plus num2, whatever value has been provided, 8 plus 9, that means 17. Just before the sum is equal to 17 will be printed. Okay, after passing the sum is as follows, and after the sum is equal to 17 will be printed. So in this function is basically known as a void function. That means unfruitful function. That means this particular function, that user defined function in which any type of return statement is not used, and that returned value is not going to be used in the further statement of the program. So that type of user defined function is known as void functions or unfruitful functions. Okay, so that's all for today. Okay, go through the topics properly and make some program by your own and try to understand the concept properly, and next time we will be continue from this. Thank you.